Okay. Hello, everybody.
Cheers.
Happy hour.
Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a rough weekend so far.
Yeah, and it's only Saturday.
I know it. Our new laptop that is only 6 months old, I guess from looking at all the disc in the beast, it has fried the DVD drive.
You just flat wore it out already.
I guess.
Oh, well.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got a few things that we want to share with everybody tonight.
Yes.
You know, since you forgot the prompt again, this is take number 3. She forgets to ask, why am I wearing it? Because
I don't care why you're wearing a tropical
Because Albuquerque was 80 degrees today, and I think it deserved it.
Yes, in fact, you may notice my cheeks are a little pink because I was actually out in my flower bed digging.
That was actually pretty nice.
Yeah, since we've lost the internet and our phone keeps crapping out. Because see, when the internet and phone are all tied together, so when it's acting up, boom, we lose everything. So I haven't been able to do everything.
So we just want to say hi to everybody. Tony, we'll get to Skyping again when the internet seems to be a little more stable. Even last night, we tried to upload a video that we had done yesterday three times. And the internet quit on us like half to 3/4 of the way through. It's like, my goodness.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of videos that we're trying to get uploaded.
Yeah.
But, you know, it starts uploading and then boom, we lose the internet. And it sucks because we don't have Netflix either.
Yeah, so.
But, Tony, we love you. And
Yes.
Hopefully we'll have the internet tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah.
And everybody else that we were supposed to call and message and everything else.
Kind of looks like we have it right now. But, you know, there's no guarantee that by the time we get done doing this video and get to uploading it, that it won't be...
No guarantee.
It won't be working, so...
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Now, I wanted to mention that I did a video by myself the other day about the JW Supplies. Yes, it is an actual website where you can buy Jehovah Witness supplies. They even have covers for the Shepherd the Flock of God book. You know, that book that doesn't exist?
It doesn't exist. Right, Matthew?
Yeah. So they have these backpacks for your to-go bags. And
yeah.
it isn't just one. I actually was looking through the website, and they have several that you can get with different items and stuff.
Don't we have a recommendation? I mean, we would like to recommend a to-go bag.
Yes. Now,
for one specific reason.
Now, instead of paying $150 to $160 for these guys, you know, because they're taking advantage of the brothers and sisters. Okay?
They're playing off that fear.
Yeah. So we just happened to get the Sportsman's Guide catalog in the mail. And guess what we found?
The Sportsman's Guide official to-go bag.
Survival bag.
But this one's much better. You know why? Because it's got a deck of playing cards in it.
Yeah. And toilet paper.
For that occasion when you have to flee to the mountains and then, you know, you've got absolutely nothing to do because you're got nothing to do.
Waiting.
So you play cards. So
yeah.
I recommend this to-go bag. It's only $71.99.
That's cheaper. That's the deal. It's like half price of what the witnesses want for theirs.
Yeah.
And this one has toilet paper, and it's even got a stove, a little.
But wasn't the Jehovah Witness one, wasn't that on sale, though?
It was on sale for $150, I think.
Well, it just
Well, it depended on if you wanted the one with the tent or not. Now, if you want
true,
the one
that's
with
right.
the tent,
they did have
it's
one
more.
with a tent.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If this impending Armageddon comes during my lifetime, I'm a certified mountain man. I can start a fire by rubbing 2 Boy Scouts together. So you come and see me, and I'll get a fire going. In an emergency situation, there are only three important things, and this is the order of importance. Number 1 is fire. Number 2 is water. Number 3 is food. See, if you can't light a fire that first night, you might die from hypothermia, depending on what the overnight temperature is going to be. And then water is your second most important thing. You can go weeks without having to have food.
Yeah.
Take it from a mountain man. I know, I've been there.
Yeah. But this one is even better because it has a flashlight, and like I said, it's got even a dust mask.
Yeah.
tissues, waste bags, a blanket, a poncho, and like he said, playing cards, and then the tote. You get your choice of camo green or red.
Or you could pray that if this impending Great Tribulation does start, that you're somewhere in the vicinity of Mike and Kim and Mark and Cora, because they will just have one hell of a time when we watch the system get torn to hell.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I got something here. Now, this is the March 2014 Kingdom Ministry. Yes, this is from last year. And I just want to remind everybody of something. On page 2, the second column, the right-hand column, paragraph 4. Will this memorial be our last?
In a word, no.
We're fast approaching the memorial for this year now, for 2015, because it's Friday night.
Yeah, Mark and Corey, you better quit playing around. Let's get this Skyping done.
Yeah, gotta get our video done. But it's just interesting. It's like, we do not know, but we do know that once it passes, gone will be a unique opportunity to show gratitude. Will you seize it? May the appreciative words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart bring pleasure to Jehovah, the generous provider of the ransom. Like I said last year, didn't Christ have a little something to do about this?
See, it's all about Jehovah, 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 and absolutely nothing about Christ.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting because we've had a few emails and comments and stuff from some very disappointed ex-JWs, because they see the witnesses in their neighborhood, because they've got this big memorial invitation campaign going on now, and they see the witnesses in their neighborhood and they get all excited and ready to talk to them. They're just shoving the invitation in the door and leaving. They're not even knocking.
Yeah, but aren't they counting them as placements now? Well, hell, they don't have time to talk to no one no more. Just get your placements out there. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yep, exactly. Now, we want to thank Atlantis. You know, he does so much.
Oh, my
Him and
goodness.
his family, they do so much.
His daughter, Petra.
Yes, wife Nevada. And they sent us the latest, elders letter, and I've put those on my Facebook. But he made a comment. I had sent him the link a while back about the Kingdom Hall that they burned down, that they had the fire department do their, trial run or whatever, the fire department does on training. Yeah, the fireman training, and they burnt down that Kingdom Hall,
The
to
Kingdom
get a
Hall
newer
was only 40 years old.
Yeah. So Atlantis had a good comment. He wrote back and he says, so they burned down a Kingdom Hall that was still usable, still a nice building with seats and everything, while brothers and sisters in third world countries are meeting in grass huts and little lean-tos or carports. They don't even have walls. And so I found a picture of a Kingdom Hall in the Dominican Republic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the picture of that for the thumbnail for this and at the end of this video. So you can see what these poor brothers and sisters have to meet in, and yet they're burning down a Kingdom Hall.
Burning down. Well, the thing is the amount of money that they're going to spend to rebuild that Kingdom Hall could have gone to this Dominican Republican area, and they could have built a proper Kingdom Hall. I mean, it's just insane that the illogical decisions that this, well, not so much the governing body, but the
they're the ones that
the powers to be in Pennsylvania.
Well, they're the ones that okay everything.
I know it.
All right, now what did we do with that paper we printed up? Because we're going into the insanity department part of this video. And now to the insanity department.
We watched a video last night. It was 90...
The top 90 disgusting Jehovah's Witness videos or nastiest Jehovah's Witness. And I've never watched anything from Robert Skinner before.
No.
But thank you for the laugh and enjoyed it.
It was great. Yeah, I really... Hey, I love the Beatles too, dude.
In fact, Tony Prime has a T-shirt that I would like. It says, "I may be old, but at least I got to see all the cool bands."
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I'll let you.
So yeah.
find-
Anyhow, when we was watching that, there was a couple of there was a picture that he had a subliminal image in,
Oh yeah.
but I'm going to get to that here in just a little bit because you wanted to
Yeah.
read this from this watchtower because in one of his videos, he had this watchtower
Yeah.
also.
It is the 1880 Watchtower. It is the March one on page 83, which is March.
Now,
1880.
now remember, the first watchtower that Charles Taze Russell ever printed, he proclaimed that Michael the Archangel was not Jesus Christ. Now we see that Watchtower has changed that stance. They believe that Michael the Archangel and Jesus Christ are one and the same. But this is what Russell also had to say in another watchtower not too distant from the one in that first one he printed.
Yeah, this is almost a year later. And it is the first paragraph. Okay, and it's talking about Jesus Christ. It says, "To worship a false Christ would indeed be sin, but to worship Christ in any form cannot be wrong. For when he bringeth the first begotten into the world, he saith, Let all the angels of God worship him." You know, so that goes right along with what Russell said in his very first 1879 Watchtower.
It's interesting, you know, as far-fetched as a lot of the things that Russell did say, he absolutely, well, in my opinion, I feel that he himself recognized the deity of Christ. But yet, Watchtower today, you know, they hardly ever talk about Christ.
Yeah. Now, for the Insanity Department, as soon as we can find...
Which one are you looking for? We got a few papers here. Are you looking at the one from Deep Throat?
We have heard that there's going to be a new release this summer for the convention. And this is from Deep Throat. Okay. And he has in the subject, Watchtower wants us back. Now, Jerry Jones mentioned something about this also. That was in a talk about, you know, we shouldn't be embarrassed to go back to Jehovah and the Kingdom Hall. But anyway, there's going to be, like I said, this is a rumor that this is going to be a brochure this summer. And as soon as we find out for sure, we'll let you all know. It appears that a new 16-page brochure with the title Return to Jehovah is to be released at the regional convention this year. It would be written specifically for those faded or disassociated or disfellowshipped. The chapters are A Letter from the Governing Body, The Lost One I Will Search For, Anxiety, Hard-Pressed in Every Way. Chapter 3, Hurt Feelings, When We Have a Cause for Complaint. Don't get me started. 4, Guilt, Cleanse Me from My Sin. And 5, Return to the Shepherd and Overseer of Your Souls.
Wait, Kim and I were disfellowshipped on rumors and hearsay that my mother started. My mother betrayed us. Why don't you cleanse her sin first and then come talk to me?
Especially since after we were disfellowshipped for that, she's taken those same subliminal images and showing all her friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And yet nothing's done to her.
Okay. Fairy Tale, if you're watching this.
Cover your eyes.
Yeah, here comes the shock factor. There's the train on the tracks. It's gonna run to Armageddon. It's almost there, Fairy Tale. No! This comes from the October 8th, 1968 Awake. And I have some questions. I really don't, I'm not going to really discuss anything in the article. It's just what I really want. Kim and I tried to do some research a couple days ago, trying to locate these sources so we can fill in the notorious ... dots. You know,
can't find them.
No, we can't find them anyways.
Plus, our internet kept going out.
Yeah, one of them is the July 1951 Scientific Monthly. Another one is a quote from H.R. Trevor Roper, the British historian, August 1st, 1954.
I couldn't even find this London
The
Star
London
one
Star,
from 1960.
1960. And then Washington, D.C., the Times Herald, March 13th, 1949.
But what's interesting is they're trying to say the normal times ended, that, 1913 was the last normal year. And that's what brings up, some serious questions. What about the 100-Year War before 1913?
What about the Civil War that ripped the United States apart? That was six-year war. What about the war between the Native Americans and the U.S. military? That was a 20-year war. And for the first time in history, germ warfare was employed. So I really want to see the full context of these comments, because we all know that Watchtower is very popular at taking things out of context. But I will say something here real quick, is that most historians will recognize that World War I was different in human history.
Turning point.
A turning point. And it wasn't because of the gravity of the war, the loss of life. Really, the fact being is that for the first time in human history, wars were fought in the air. That was the turning point. It wasn't the fact that it was 1914 and that it was the Great War. They didn't call it World War I until World War II started. And World War II ushered in the nuclear age, ushered in so much more scientific knowledge about our universe and so much more about the human body and everything else. So really, I would like to get a lot of these in the full context.
Well, I like this quote here in the left-hand side. It says, August 4th, 1914, World War I began developing. But did not World War II mark an even greater turning point? No.
No. Watchtower has the audacity right there
to say no.
To say no. No.
Yeah, it did.
Here's the difference. You really want a marking point to look at something from a biblical perspective? The end of World War I. Did the Jews get their state back? The end of World War II. The United Nations let Israel have their state back. That's a marking point. That's a turning point in human history as far as I'm concerned.
Well, tongue twister. World War II, I mean, if that wasn't a great tribulation, Christ was talking to Jews and mentioned the Great Tribulation. If that wasn't a Great Tribulation, I don't know what was.
Oh, yeah.
Over 10
Jews.
Yeah, killed, but I mean, wasn't there like 10 million
there was
imprisoned and just scattered everywhere?
Yeah. So, but the point being, I know we're digressing a little bit. I'd like to see if anybody has access to these magazines. I'd sure like to get these in full context. It's Scientific Monthly, July 1951. There's a comment here from H.R. Trevor Roper, British historian, August 1st, 1954.
Can't find him.
Also the London Star, August 4th, 1960. And also the Washington, D.C. Times Herald, March 13th, 1949.
Yes, and you don't even have to get a hold of us if you don't want to. You can just post it down below. Put the link down below in the video.
With the full quote.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, back to the insanity department. So we had a good friend of ours, Matt, like we mentioned. We've
actually mentioned him in a couple other videos before. We've been trying to help Matt wake up his wife. She's a Jehovah's Witness. He's not.
Yeah, well, let me explain. She had left and became inactive, and she married a worldly man, and he is a police officer right now, and so he is trying to help wake her up. But he had a couple of sisters show up at his door yesterday morning, and like I said, I'll try to remember as best I can because I cannot find the email.
Well, just keep in mind, In the XJW community, we have seen evidence that elders will lie when they're under oath in court. The governing body will disavow themselves from Watchtower if it comes right down to it.
Well,
So now, what about the Jehovah's Witness at the door?
Well, we even heard about a court case this past couple of days to where the elder actually lied and said, "What two-witness rule?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right, Derek?
Yeah. So the sisters show up at our friend Matt's house, and he's like, "Oh boy." So he starts asking them questions, and I believe one of them was about the child abuse problem. She immediately, within just a couple of minutes, got very defensive and said, "You're an apostate." He's like, "No."
Like, never Jehovah's Witness.
What is an apostate? You know? So, like I said, Matt has never been a witness. He's only married to one. That's how he even knows that. And so he asked a few more questions. He's like, "Look, I'm not attacking you. I just am asking a few questions." You know, he asked about the shunning policy. "Oh, no, we don't shun.
Oh, no, we don't shun.
We don't shun."
They'll lie right in public now, right at the doors. They're being trained to lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't remember the details, but several questions, you know, he would try to get answers from them. And from what he could tell, she lied about every single one. Because guess what? He's friends with us, and we tell him, yes, they do shun.
Yeah.
Our own mothers are shunning us. I don't care what they say. They shun.
He's seen the court recordings.
Yeah.
He's seen, you know, the child abuse problems and everything else. And this sister was in complete denial and chalked it all up to apostate lies.
Yeah. Okay, the apostates go into these courts and are forging these court documents.
Yeah.
You know, the apostates get the blame for everything. And he pretty much said the same thing. You know, are you saying they go in and they're going to these newspaper reporters and to, like, the news media and the court documents, and they're lying and, you know, making all this stuff up? She basically says, yes.
Yeah.
Total denial. The insanity. I mean, when is it going to stop?
See, Matthew, one of the hardest things to do for a Jehovah's Witness to wake up is they have to admit to themselves that they've been lied to their entire life. That's really what it boils down to. And, you know, there are some people, like even my own mother, she will never admit to herself that she's been living a lie her entire, because she's got too much pride. She's too prideful to admit that she's been lied to her entire life.
Yeah, and at one point, Matt, I believe, even brought up the Elders Shepherd the Flock of God book.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What? I don't know what that is." And
that
he's
book
like,
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Oh, well, you have to understand that there is a lot of people that, you know, talk against the witnesses, and they will make this stuff up.
Go ahead, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt. Just keep
They
going.
will make this stuff up just to make witnesses look bad. We don't have to make up anything. They do enough damage on their own.
Well, just getting back to that 16-page brochure. You know, when this is released, the title is "Return to Jehovah." Who is going to be the target audience, Watchtower? It's not going to be guys like Matthew. It's not going to be guys like anybody that's never ever known Watchtower. This magazine is directly targeted to an audience that used to belong to Watchtower. You're not going to get me back. That's for damn sure. And I know you're not going to get back Deep Throat. I know you're never going to get back the Unknown Apostate, Jerry Jones, anyone else doing YouTube videos.
Mark and Cora.
Mark, you just, so really, who are you trying to really impress with this brochure? Ha ha ha, that's so stupid. How about some alternative titles? Tomo looks chromos. Tomo likes chromos. Okay, I don't quite understand that one, Dethro, but I'm going to let that one go. We lie in court. That doesn't mean you shouldn't skip meetings. Yes, we are
A
a
commercialized
religion, but Jehovah will kill you if you disobey our ideas. Man.
Oh, I like this one. Oh, God, please let us get away with this scam.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Watchtower, do you ex Jehovah's Witnesses, those that have disassociated yourself, those that have faded, those that have been DF'd, you are now going to become part of a public campaign to receive this brochure. It ain't going to the world, people. That's going to a target audience. And Watchtower's hoping that some of those will come back. Why? Because when they come back, the money starts flowing again.
Yep. I've lost some more papers here.
All right.
I know we're getting on long video, but we had a bunch of stuff to do here. Thank you, Atlantis. This is a list. It's not an elder's letter, but it is a list that was sent to the elders for the congregation. And it's the information needed for the visit of the circuit overseer. So they have a checklist that they have to have when the circuit overseer is about to visit them. And we found a few things that were interesting. Most of this is blah, blah, blah. But it's interesting because the very first thing is the congregation's publisher records.
Oh, but they always look at those.
Yeah, and the meeting attendance, the territory assignment. Number 4 is the congregation checkbook.
Wow. They want to look at the Kingdom Hall checkbook.
Yeah. And all Kingdom Hall operating committee accounts records, including the checkbook. Wow. Okay, some more blah, blah, blah. List of publishers arranged by field service group. Names of brothers recommended for appointment or deletion. The circuit overseer will obtain personal and spiritual information from each one's congregation's publisher's record card and any pertinent history.
Yeah.
I'm sure, they're not going to have on the publisher card, oh, this one was a pedophile. Wow. Okay. More blah, blah, blah. List of agenda for their meeting. Name and contact information for the circuit overseer's host if he has requested accommodations for the week of the visit. I guess they want to know who he's staying with.
Well, yeah, but that's just normal stuff.
List,
but thing is, it's on the checklist.
Yeah. List of those scheduled to receive a shepherding visit by the circuit overseer.
How come I was never on that list?
I guess you weren't bad at it.
As much trouble as we caused, you would have thought we'd have been on that list at some point.
Yeah. So if you're on the list for a shepherding visit, well, you know what the problem is we never had enough money.
Well, that could be.
See, now I'm sure the ones who have a bunch of money, I'm sure
the ones
they're
that get
on
the shepherding calls. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the list in names and contact information of publishers who will host lunch for the circuit overseer and his wife. So, yeah, some interesting things on here. Like I said, there's 2 pages. Oh, here's another interesting thing. Have you verified that no ministerial servants are serving as jw.org domain administrators? That means has access into the congregation's, login. And that no ministerial servants has the view forms restricted role or any view letters role. That means they can't be looking at secret confidential elders letters.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you ministerial servants, you contact us. We'll give them to you.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. And they just say to make sure that no one that no longer qualifies doesn't have access to the congregation's jw.org domain. Has the branch office been notified of all regular Pioneer deletions, name changes, and congregation assignment changes? Has the branch office been notified of any disfellowshippings or disassociations?
It's quite the checklist, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, it just goes on and on and on. Are any publishers under the judicial restrictions, and if so, their spiritual progress being monitored closely?
So they do police the congregations.
Yeah.
They police them.
So just some more blah blah blah. But if anyone wants that, it's on my Facebook. And
okay, now we have a subliminal image here, but
yeah,
we didn't write down where this came from. Where did this come from?
This comes from the Harp of God,
That's
the
right.
1928 edition, page 210.
This is the picture, and
Kind of bizarre.
yeah, we want to thank.
This was in the Robert Skinner video.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before. Now, the Harp of God came out when?
This edition is from the 1928.
1928 edition. Okay, now the spaceship crashed in Roswell, 1940.
45? 47.
47. Okay, we have proof. We have had alien visitations. Right there, there's the face of the alien. It looks just like those green men that come out of the spaceship that crashed in Roswell. And I know that to be a fact because I just came from Texas, went through Roswell, New Mexico, and boom, there they are.
The whole town is full of these aliens.
Yes. But you know what, though? This particular picture is even more interesting than the obvious alien here.
To me, it looks like a ghost.
Well, alien, ghost, they all look the same. But you can see, I'm assuming this is a picture of Christ. You can see Christ's shadow right here. So the light would be coming down, from this direction, casting his shadow right here. So what is this shadow? Right behind, there we go, right behind Christ.
It looks like another figure.
There's another figure in the shadow, and if you get that Harp of God, what, am I stepping on the cat?
Yes,
Oh.
you're killing the cat.
And if you look up here in the corner, there appears to be a face up there.
So
You
what
can
I'm
see
going to
the
do...
two eyes and maybe a beak or whatever, but there's another shadow being cast onto the other side of that picture.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the scan of this at the end of the video. So just stay tuned after the video. Poor Furby, there's a chunk of fur under the chair. He was on Furby's tail.
Well, that's what the cat does. Gets for getting underneath my feet when I've had a beer or two.
Poor cat. So like I said, I will put the scan of this, and yeah, we haven't done any subliminal images for a while.
No, I sat down this morning and started pulling out some of the newer material to look for some, and I found some. Trust me, I found some.
So, they haven't given up. They're still at it.
Well, here again, just go back to this. And the Harp of God was done in
1928.
And you can, in my humble opinion, that looks just like the aliens that crash landed in Roswell, New Mexico.
There's some other weird stuff in there, too. Right above, like, the door knocker, there is, like, a shadow that goes up. And there's nothing that should be making that shadow. So, like I said, we'll put the scan of that and let you all decide about that. And we want to thank everybody, for everything. We've gotten so much help and everything. And
thanks for watching.
thanks.
She ran out of words and I'm done.
You speechless? Wow,
Yes.
That's the first. You all have a great weekend, and hopefully we can get this uploaded as soon as our internet comes back on. Good night.